Interesting to maybe think about the styles of Jeff Lacey, if that is indeed to be the next round, because Lacey, he only stands about 5'9", predominantly a big left hooker. And is this the right sort of fight to sharpen Joe up for that? Maybe not. What do you think, Duke?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of actual stature and size, it's ideal. But you know, it's no secret that Lacey is the big fight that's out there.
Another round for Calzaghe. Enzo, his father, having words there. Frank Black, who was with Terry Lawless all those years ago. Dean Powell in there as well. Plenty of expertise in that corner. Take a look again, Duke, at some of the boxing skills of Calzaghe, doubling up well on that jab.
Well, well-educated, well-timed and delivered jabs by Calzaghe. You know, okay, it's not a vintage Calzaghe we're seeing, but we're seeing a much more patient Joe Calzaghe tonight.
And good power with that body shot. And we just wonder across in the far corner whether the fact that Calzaghe is working exclusively behind that right jab, you saw the right hook in there, has he damaged those fragile hands? Has that left hand, which has been a problem in the past, has it been damaged once again? Because if it has, then Calzaghe is having to win this fight virtually one-handed, and clearly if he has damaged that left hand, then that is going to put a big question mark against the great big showdown at the beginning of November planned for a contest against Jeff Lacey.
Well, you can imagine he's got a very short, squat guy in front of him who's got his chin tucked down into his chest. So what Calzaghe's doing effectively is jabbing him on the forehead. Obviously that's the hardest part of the head. So if he's damaged his hand, that's how he's done it.
Well, there have been times after Calzaghe fights where he's sat at press conferences speaking to us about the way the contests have unfolded, and his hands have looked like balloons. He has a real problem with that.
Yeah, he's been plagued by it, I should say, throughout the whole of his career. But you know, that's not making an excuse for him, because he's doing a fine job even with the one hand.
Yeah, I think it's looking very much as though that is the case, because the left hand is looking no more than a block, really. He's not thrown a purposeful left hand at all in this round so far.
It would appear that he's hurt that left hand, because as you see, he's not actually throwing it to the head. If he's throwing it at all, he's going to drop it down to the body where it's a lot softer.
He's just parrying punches with it, Duke. He's not throwing shots at all, I don't think. He's just realised that he's just got to pick this guy off with the right hand and just box his way through it.
I mean, you can thank God that it is his left hand that's going to knock the right hand. He needs that jab to keep this guy at range. But it's only a question of time now before Ashira realises that Calzaghe's fighting one-handed.
Well, if he's not realised yet, he pretty soon will do, because I'm sure that surely the corner must have picked up on this. Calzaghe feinted to throw the left hand there, and there was a little pitter-pat blow, but no meat, no power behind it.
If the left hand is damaged like we suspect it is, you know, like we said, it's only a matter of time before Ashira realises this and starts stepping on the gas. Ashira
will perhaps realise that he will still have 4 rounds in which to spring what would be an enormous upset. Calzaghe just coming in behind the right hand, trying to throw the right hook, and the crowd muted, subdued. Maybe they don't realise what we are increasingly thinking is very much apparent, that Calzaghe's left hand has gone. Well, Calzaghe goes back for words of advice from his corner, no doubt. But let's hear what Barry McGuigan thinks. He's with Jim.
Right then, Barry, fighting one-handed.
Yeah.
It's a survival job for Joe now, really.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But remember, he's punched the living daylights out of this kid. There's not much left in Ashira. We thought a couple of rounds ago that he was going to actually be pulled out himself from his own corner. I know his hand is bruised. Is it bruised or is it broken? That's the big question. He threw a little short uppercut on the inside there, but he's used that right hand extensively. I still think he's got loads left in the tank. he can outbox this guy for the next couple of rounds. If Ashira starts putting pressure on him, he might decide to use that left hand again. If it's bruised or if it's broken, then it could really damage it badly.
But just briefly, just what Joe Calzaghe didn't want to happen here.
Not at this stage. We want this big fight in a couple of months, and he still has 4 hard rounds to do.
Into the 9th round. The championship distance, of course, is 12. Calzaghe is way in front, way in front. That is not really an issue now. If Ashira's going to win this one, he's going to have to knock Calzaghe out. Because on our cards, well, on my card, Duke, I don't know if you'd agree with that. I've got Calzaghe winning every one.
Yeah, I've got an absolute shutout to Joe Calzaghe. Ashira does need to knock out to win. There is a little bit more of a sprightly step on Ashira now. You know, he's trying to force the fight and force Calzaghe back. Whether or not he actually realises that Joe's fighting him one-handed, you know, we're about to find out.
9th round, and Calzaghe just picking his man off with the jab. And when Calzaghe scored that narrow points victory over Robin Reed, he had real problems in that fight for similar reasons. Confirmation, incidentally, from the corner from his father Enzo that he has got problems over there, as we thought.
He's almost scared to throw it.
Yeah, the left hand has gone. Well, is Ashira going to be able to capitalise on that, or is Calzaghe going to know enough just to stifle him?
Well, you don't get through 16, 17 defences like Calzaghe has without knowing how to play a trick or two in that ring. And see what he's doing. Every time Ashira gets close, he flicks him with the jab, ties him up, spins him round, sets him up for the jab again.
How much does it actually hurt if your hand's gone like that, if you try and throw a punch?
It's very, very painful. You know, it sends shock waves to the mind, and it almost makes you throw what Mickey Duff used to call affectionately, "Don't hit me" punches. You know, he just tap with the left hand because he doesn't want to get hit back in return, obviously, because he is one-handed.
Well, it's a break, and that really is bad news. Let's hope not. Calzaghe just content to spoil now.
Nice boxing from Calzaghe. There he goes, just ties him up.
Well, this is very much closer round. Ashira's probably getting close to sharing this one. Calzaghe, as you say, just giving him a little slap with the left hand, a little reminder that no real power thrown for it. Be interesting to know just how early it went. Possibly as early, maybe as the 3rd or 4th round. Well, a few boos from the crowd, and I think that's a little bit unfair because Calzaghe is in no conceivable danger of losing at this stage, but he's literally fighting one-handed.
Yeah, obviously the crowd don't know the severity of the damage that's been done to Calzaghe at this present moment in time.
Let's see if you can hear what's going on in that corner. Well, Enzo Calzaghe, who's always an animated sort of character at the best of times, is trying to raise his son, trying to get him to move on with greater urgency.
Enzo just making sure that Joe doesn't switch off. It's very easy when you've got an injury for your mind just to start to wander and concentrate on the injury, and before you know it, the referee's going 8, 9, 10, the job's over.
Again, stating the obvious, it's the hurt game, isn't it? It only takes one.
Absolutely.
Ashira has got knockouts on his record, 13 of them.
Calzaghe could almost, inspire this boy, Ashira,